Well, guys, as is often the case, whenever I put out one of those rumors and speculation videos, or something about a rumor, the comments come fast and furious, and I've got more to say having read these comments, and I want to add my additional nickel's worth of information or opinion. Mostly this, by the way, has to do with the video we did the other day about the new parking structure being built behind the hotels on Harbor Boulevard. Most of what I want to talk about right now is what we shouldn't expect or what's not going to happen. We'll start with the Toy Story parking lot. The most popular comment that we got on all this is, hey, let's put a water park there. Well, there's no chance at all of that happening, and I'll tell you why. Because there's a water park 2 blocks down the street at Harbor Boulevard. It's been open for about a year now, maybe less. But there's a third-party water park, not Knott's Berry Farm, not Raging Rapids, not anything like that. There's a water park on Harbor Boulevard just down the street. So there's little chance to none that Disney would do that. I don't think. I mean, why? Why do that? Besides, for one, we're in the middle of a drought here in California. So Disney's not going to take the heat, the public relations heat, of building a water park when there's already one down the street. So I'm giving that a 0% chance of happening. The other thing we're not going to get over there is Westcott. This was the original plans for DCA were to build a Westcott, but I think the problem with Westcott is that all you have to do is look at Epcot and see how badly it's doing. Well, I don't know if it's doing badly, but there's a lot of problems at Epcot. It's not what it used to be, and it's growing further away of what it wanted to be. Take the Frozen attraction, for example. That has nothing to do with the experimental prototype City of Tomorrow. Nothing. So they're not interested in doing that kind of land anymore, or that kind of amusement park anymore. I really don't believe that they're interested in that at all. Not only that, but I don't think it's big enough anyway. Having said that, I know that a lot of us want that, but or that we say we do. But let me tell you, I don't think that we really believe that, because attendance doesn't tell that story. If we wanted Epcot so bad, we'd be going to Epcot a little more than we are. It's the same thing that you hear a lot about, why do we make so many movie sequels, and why are so many of the video game sequels? We want original stories, we want original content, and yet all we keep buying and all we keep seeing are the sequels, right? Look at all the most popular video games in the world, and they're all sequels. Look at some of the most popular movies are all sequels or part of a franchise. So I don't think that we really understand or know what we want in that sense. Now, when it comes to the monorail, I had asked, what are they going to do with the track? Because the bridge and the monorail are going to intersect. And some had said, well, build the monorail over the track, or they believe that is what's going to do it, or even under. Over, I don't think is possible. I really don't, because the monorail is already pretty high. Okay, it's already a good 1 or 2 stories high. You want to build something that goes over that, it's going to have to be 4 stories high. I don't think that's realistic. Do you want to walk up that hill after spending 12 hours at the park? I don't think that's realistic. No, there's going to have to be something else is going to have to happen there. I don't know what it is. They're going to have to reroute the monorail somehow. That is one of the most fascinating facets of this expansion, is because they do have a plan for that. And because the bridge is happening, the bridge is definitely happening. There's definitely going to be a path from the Carousel Inn over Harbor Boulevard and into Disneyland, and it intersects the monorail. So what is their plan? I don't know. And I'm almost positive it's not over. Under, it could happen, I guess, but not likely. Under would be on the ground. Here's what we're also not going to expect to have happen, is an extra stop. A lot of people have said, well, why you're going to go ahead and tear down the monorail track, why don't you build an extra stop? Like in DCA. Well, the problem with that is the DCA is a second gate. It's an extra ticket. So you have to have a formal entrance and exit for that stop. And they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. The only kind of stop is going to be a Disneyland stop, because that's, you have a ticket to Disneyland or you don't. But what they can't do is have some people get off at a DCA stop, a new stop there, and you're gonna have to have somebody there checking your ticket, and some people are gonna get to go in because they've got a park hopper, and some people aren't gonna get to go in because they don't have a park hopper, but they're gonna be all upset and they're gonna, why do you have a stop here if I can't get off? That's a situation that they don't want. I'm 100% positive on that. So don't expect a monorail stop inside of DCA. Also, don't expect the monorail to be rerouted onto the other side of Harbor Boulevard to the hotel and to the transportation hub, because as I understand it, and maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but Disney needs to own the land that they're going to build the monorail over. They have to get some kind of easement from the city to do that. I don't know what that costs or what that's going to take, but it's not likely. You can't just put a monorail anywhere you want. Even, you know what I mean? And the part that I'm talking about is Harbor Boulevard and those, and anything that the monorail crosses. Now you're going to say, well, they're building the bridge, right? They must have got an easement for that. Yes, an easement for the bridge is probably pretty easy to do, I think. But an easement for a monorail that's trafficked with a monorail support or whatever you want to call this thing, track. I don't think it's as easy as that. I don't think it's as easy as just getting an easement, or it's very affordable. Now, one comment that we did get, which I really enjoyed, his comment was pretty interesting. It's the most realistic and logical situation that I can envision for the future of all the affected areas. He's suggesting that rather than turning in that extra, the current bus loading area, rather than turning that into an expansion of DCA or an expansion of Marvel or Marvel Land, he's saying that's going to become backstage, DCA backstage. And matter of fact, he even suggested there might be some way to connect it to the Disneyland backstage to have one continuous, area, backstage area for both Disneyland and DCA. And then you build the Marvel expansion behind Tower Terror, that area over there that's currently a parking lot. And by the way, that makes sense because you no longer need that parking lot because now we've got, the new parking lot being built over in Harbor Boulevard. So now that means that now you've got to have a direction for the back lot, because one of my suggestion was that back lot becomes Marvel, and then you also expand that out into the transportation hub that's out there now. Well, he's saying no. What he's saying is, what he's hearing is that the back lot is going to become a sort of Toontown type area. Remember we were talking about a few weeks ago when Ian had said he'd heard a rumor that they were going to build a Mickey ride. They're doing one in Walt Disney World, or probably going to do one in Walt Disney World. We might also get one here. That's the back lot then becomes some sort of Mickey Toontown. Not a Toontown. I don't think the Toontown idea is really any good, so they're going to do something fresh, something different. A Mickey's Land, which makes sense to have a Mickey attraction there. So now you've got a place to meet Mickey, maybe in Mickey's house. I don't know. Brian says no, but I mean, why not? Let's have a place to meet Mickey. That makes Toontown expendable. We've already heard rumors that they're going to co-opt Gadget's Go Coaster for a Fantasyland expansion, right? So that they can build the Frozen attraction, and they've also already taken out the Skyway Chalet. This makes Toontown as a land expendable also. Now we've got more room for Star Wars Land expansion and a Fantasyland expansion. And all of this, that whole conversation makes a lot of sense to me. So Brian, I hope you have a source for that, because I would love to hear if that's a true thing or not, because that of all the possible ideas, this is the one I like best, because I love an idea of a land just for Mickey and his world, Goofy and Pluto and Minnie and Donald, a place for them to all hang out. Because Toontown isn't that place. Toontown was a place from a movie, Roger Rabbit, where all the Toons lived, including Hanna-Barbera and everything else. So I want Mickey's world, and I want a land that has Mickey's world in it. And this is a long overdue thing. So, Brian, thank you for that, and I hope that that's something that you heard from a good source. Contact me if you want to share. So there you go. Those are my follow-up points. Fresh Baked, if you have any thoughts or opinions on that, I'd love to hear them. Give us a shout. Until next time, Fresh Baked.
We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out our Star Wars Land updates from the Knothole Gang, or maybe our Secrets in History videos. Or you can just watch all of our weekly trip reports and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily. And don't forget, you can support Fresh Baked by joining our Patreon campaign or by buying a Fresh Baked t-shirt. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Fresh Baked!